Hey guys, how's it going? Drew here. Today what I thought I would do is show you the 5 presets that I have stored on my Yamaha THR30. Stick around, you're not going to want to miss this one. Okay guys, so I have my Yamaha THR sitting to my right here, and it's mic'd up with a Shure SM57, so you can hear what the sound is coming out of the speaker of the amp. I also have it connected directly through my interface. On the THR30, there are 2 outputs on the back, and I have one of them hooked up, just the left, the mono, hooked up into my interface so you can hear what the direct signal sounds like. So in general, what you're going to be hearing is a blend of the microphone and the direct signal, but then we'll isolate some of those so you can hear what the tone sounds like and give you a better idea of the sounds that you're hearing. So I play through my Yamaha THR every day when I'm practicing guitar, and it has been my favorite practice amp. I think when this amp came out, it was a total game changer from a form factor perspective and also a tone perspective. It sounds great. There are other great sounding amps on the marketplace, but how it looks and how you interact with the amp, I think, is really different from anything else on the market. And I think Yamaha really nailed it in the form of, you know, not putting too many features, not putting too many things on a practice amp like you have with other companies. And it's just very simple and friendly and easy to use. And that's why this amp has been a mainstay in my rig for so many years, and I love using it. I've got 5 presets that I use primarily, and they're stored directly on the amp. I have other presets that I store on my hard drive here, and what I will probably do in the future is upload these to my website so you guys can download them directly to your amplifiers. If you want to learn how to load presets onto your THR, I'll put that in the description below so that you can have some of these tones on your THR as well. So let's get into these tones. So the first one that I have is a 0 breakup, 100% clean guitar sound, okay? And I call it the Holdsworth clean. And it's very crystal clear, and there's chorus, echo, reverb, there's all of that stuff. Of course, you can turn that on and off as you please, but Alan Holdsworth to me is the GOAT. He's one of the greatest guitar players of all time, if not the greatest, for many reasons. He's been super influential in my life and in countless other guitar players' lives. If you don't know who he is, do a quick search on Wikipedia and just kind of get the gist of what he's known for, but this guitar sound is dedicated to him, and it sounds like this. Okay, so that's the bridge pickup. Let's check out the split bridge pickup. Okay, and the middle position, so both pickups fully on. And And here's the neck pickup split. Okay, and here's the fully neck pickup. Okay, I tend to kind of hang out in the middle, right, with this sound. So there you go. That's my clean sound that I practice to, and you got to hear what it sounds like. You could set your amp exactly as it is here and get something similar. Of course, it's all going to be contingent on your guitar and how you play. One of the things that really changes the tone on the THR a lot, I notice, is the cabinet, right? So if you know, what I would do is maybe set everything kind of 50% here first if you're trying to make a sound, and then start going through the cabinets and hearing how that impacts the tone, because it actually changes it quite a bit. Oop, didn't mean to hit the B string there. I feel like that brown cabinet sounds very much like a Marshall speaker cabinet, like with G12T75. It's got that kind of crisp brightness in there, and then that nice low end as well. That one's a little warmer. That one's more for like metal, you know. But I tend to stick with this boutique 2x12 cabinet. It's much more mid-range focused. There's less of that kind of boomy low end. But, you know, feel free to try any of these. California 1x12. Okay, play around with that. See what kind of speaks to you the most. If you're trying to save a guitar sound on the amp, it's really easy. All you do is press whatever number you'd like to assign it to. I keep my clean channel number 1, and then you hold that down for a second, and now it's saved. And you'll notice that the THR remote is just mirroring what I do over here. If I start moving stuff around, like the gain, the THR remote will kind of track along with that. Okay, and I think that's really cool that this thing does that. Okay, now you can also do editing on your tablet device or your cell phone. Okay, it works for Android, iOS, and I find that the app is pretty nice. Okay, I know some other people out there have commented on my YouTube channel and said, "Hey man, like the Yamaha app really sucks," or "I cannot get my amplifier to connect to my PC," and I'm really sorry if that's you. I wish I could help you more. I do notice that the THR remote app is kind of finicky. So what I would recommend doing if your amp is not connecting is make sure you have the most current version of the THR remote app loaded onto your device or your desktop, and then make sure you've got a working USB cable, and then just try to unplug and replug back in that amp. I noticed that sometimes this THR remote desktop app doesn't recognize the amp sometimes, so all I did is just unplug the amp, the USB cable in the back, and plug it back in, and voila, it works just fine. So you might want to try that if you're having those kind of problems. So all right, with all that being said, let's move on to tone number 2. So you can click it here, or you can click it down there. It doesn't really matter. It'll take you to the same place. So this tone is called Midgain lead, okay? And it sounds like this. Okay, and I really like this sound because I can play a lot of different styles with it. I can play chords and they sound clear. I can play lead notes and they sound really fat. If you don't like all of these effects on, feel free to turn that stuff off. But I tend to keep a lot of this on unless I find a reason, unless it starts getting in the way. But the way I have the mix set up with all of these effects, they're all pretty low, so they shouldn't get in your way if you're playing fast, okay? This stuff is all kind of set up for practice and for really kind of being in the woodshed, but also enjoying how you sound. I really love the noise gate feature because when you have this much gain kind of running, you'll notice that there's some sound, so right, some buzzing sound. So you turn that gate on and it takes that away, and then the amp ends up being dead silent when you're not playing a note, and I love that. So I really like Midgain lead because it's very responsive. So as you dig into your notes more, you're going to get more push out of the amp, almost like a real tube amp. And then as you pick more lightly and as you turn the volume knob down on your guitar, it's going to clean up the sound a lot. And I've played with this setup at church before, and I've used Midgain lead the entire time for every song, okay, as a lead guitar player and also playing some chords. So this amp does a great job on stage as well, okay? And that's why I love this thing. That is tone number 2. All right, guys, let's move on to tone number 3. For this one, I've got a lot of gain, okay? This is my lead sound that I use most of the time. And you'll notice here that I'm using the classic for these first 3 sounds. In a minute here, we'll get into the modern and boutique sounds. But I really just enjoy the classic for the most part, okay? It's been my main kind of platform for creating sounds on the THR. I don't mess around too much with these other sounds. I just don't think they sound as good. This one has a ton of gain. It's super liquidy. It's designed so that you can play legato style guitar, and the notes are going to sustain a lot, and it's super fun to play. So let's check it out. So there you go. If you want chorus on there, you can, but I kind of find that chorus and phaser, and I think this does tremolo as well. Chorus, phaser, tremolo, flanger, that kind of stuff doesn't really vibe with me for lead work. I just think it kind of gets in the way. But what the heck? Let's check out phaser. Let's get some Eddie Van Halen kind of stuff happening. So if you want to have a little bit more fun, you can throw that phaser on there and have a great old time. So That's what I call a fusion solo. It's great for this kind of stuff. All right, so let's get on to something a little modern, a little heavy, a little djenty, if you will. This one's called Djent Brutality. So this is great for modern hard rock, metal, and progressive metal, right? So it sounds like this. So you notice that there was some feedback at the beginning there. That's because I'm sitting literally a foot away from this amp, so of course it's going to make some noise. It's going to be super annoying. So that's why that's there. Pretty brutal, right? But obviously not brutal enough to wake Blanche up. Blanche is my golden doodle dog over here. Blanche, wake up. I just want everyone to know that that dog is alive while I'm recording this video. She's not dead. So, anyway, thank you for joining us, Blanche. All right, guys, this last tone, I call it baddie bass. It's for just bass players that like being bad, okay? I tend to gravitate towards the boutique sound, this blue kind of sound for bass, and you get more of a vintagey kind of bass sound reminiscent of the Ampeg B15N amplifier. Unfortunately, on the bass setting on the THR, you don't get to choose from different cabinets, which I think that would be a great feature to add later, where you could do a 1x15, a 4x10, an 8x10. I just think it would be fun to choose between different cabinets, you know, because bass players like that. So I'm actually plugged in with my Carvin 6-string bass. I think this bass is from the 90s, but it's an awesome 6-string bass. So, you know, people that have a low B string can kind of hear what this sounds like. But it sounds like this. Check it out. So it really does handle that low B string quite well. You know, I just really enjoy playing bass through this amp as well. And I think more bass players should consider this as a practice option. Because you get a recording interface, you get some digital effects built in, and you get a great bass sound out of these tiny little speakers. They really do a great job of putting out some great low end. All right, let's put some effects on here. Let's check this out. Let's try some hall reverb. Yeah, so that's another just really fun aspect of the THR is you got these effects. You can also run an acoustic guitar into here or even like a keyboard, and you can use this flat response. And I've tried all of that before, and this amp really holds up in a lot of different situations, and that's why I continue to love it and use it. Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out this video on my 5 presets that I currently have on my Yamaha THR. I hope you got a lot out of this video and you got some new ideas on how to use this wonderful amplifier. I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel, like this video, and turn on the notifications for future uploads if you like this kind of content. And wherever you're at in the world, take care and have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.